Menjadi KPM.
Hi, hello everyone. How are you doing today? My name is Chris and you are watching Sukses SPM 2021, and this is where we want to help SPM students score the highest marks they can in their examinations. For today, we will be learning Bahasa Inggeris. But before that, I just want to remind all my friends watching at home that the battle against COVID-19 is far from over. So this is a reminder to always practice your SOPs, okay? Number one, wear your face mask properly, frequently use hand sanitizers, and whenever you're in public areas, remember to practice your social distancing of not less than 1 meter. And last but not least, since things are slowly opening up, constantly update your My Sejahtera app, okay? Now, for today's English class, the topic is very interesting because it has something to do with Bruno Mars. Yeah, you know his song? 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. I'm not going to sing the whole song, but if you want to find out more on today's topic, let's first get to know today's teachers. That's right, for today's Sukses SPM class, we have not one, but two English teachers with us. We have Mr. Hanin from SMK Unku Aziz and Mr. Chua from SBP Integrasi Sabak Bernam. Hi sirs, how are you doing today?
Fine.
Yeah? Mr. Chua, are you good today?
Oh, I'm feeling very well.
That's amazing.
How about you, Chris?
I'm doing very good as well. Now, sirs,
Yeah.
regarding today's topic, I heard it has something to do with Bruno Mars, like what I mentioned earlier, but maybe you want to share with all our friends watching at home, what are we learning today?
You were singing Bruno Mars, and
Yes.
then you were singing.
Yeah.
You are amazing.
Yes.
Just the way you are. So amazing is a very good word for us that we are going to focus on, which is adjective. Which is
Okay.
adjective.
Right.
And we are going to learn on describing a person.
Right, so today's topic is describing a person.
Yes,
Okay.
and we are going to learn also about the adjective.
Okay, understood.
So we are going to apply adjectives to describe a person in our writing paper today, primarily focusing on the part 2 component, which is a guided essay.
Okay, so we are focusing on English paper 2, is that correct, sirs?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. But before we proceed with today's class, a class isn't a class without classmates. Am I right, sirs?
Yep.
That's right. We do have some friends online with us today. Can we say hi to them? Hi, everyone. Hi. Those are my classmates for today, and they're actually from SMK Unku Aziz and SBP Integrasi Sabak Bernam as well. Hi, everyone. I would like to get to know my classmates for today. So, could I get everyone one by one to introduce your name and school so I get to know you better? So, why don't we start with Fia? Hi, Fia.
Hi, Fia.
Hi, my name is Siti Safia binti Ibrahim, but you can call me Fia. I'm from SBPI Sabak Bernam, and my ambition is I want to be a minister.
Wow, she wants to be a minister.
So
Yep, so that's great. I think that's why English is very important as well.
yes.
So next, let's get to know Putra. Hi, Putra. How are you?
Hi, my name is Nusrat Putra bin Rizal. You can call me Nusrat. My ambition is to be a surgeon.
Okay, nice. Very nice to meet you, Putra. And next we have Iza. Hi, Iza. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Iza Izwani from SMK Unku Aziz,
and my ambition is to be a veterinarian.
Wow, that is amazing. You
Yep.
must love animals a lot,
Animals
Iza.
as
And next, we have Ahmad. Hi, Ahmad.
Hi, my name is Ahmad Zarfan. You can call me Ahmad, and my ambition is to be a dentist.
A dentist. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Ahmad. And
Yes.
last but not least, we have Suren. Hi, Suren. How are you doing today?
Hi, my name is Suren Christian. You can call me Suren. I'm from SMK Uncle Aziz and my ambition is to be an engineer.
Okay, so it's very nice to meet all of you. I'm so excited to learn from our teachers today and also together with my friends. But before we proceed with today's class, let's not forget that we are still in the battle against COVID-19.
Yes.
So I would like to invite both of you to also apply hand sanitizer. So if you look in the table in front of you, you do
Yeah.
have a special bottle for yourselves, and I have a special pink one for myself as well.
Yeah.
So could we both all apply hand sanitizer before
Sure.
we?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'll apply mine. Okay. So sirs, before we actually proceed with today's class, how about we take a short break to give our friends online some time to get ready as well? Is that
Yes.
okay? Now for those who are watching at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for our English lesson here on Sukses SPM 2021.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021 with me, Chris MJ, and today we are learning Bahasa Inggeris on the topic of describing a person. Now, before we proceed with our class for today together with Mr. Hanin and Mr. Chua, I would like to also hear some thoughts and opinions from our friends online regarding today's topic. Let's ask Putra first. Putra, what do you think of today's topic?
Alright, in my point of view, I think that today's topic, describing a person, is really important for us, the SPM candidate, to let us know how to create a great essay that contain a bombastic adjective and nice connectors for our English SPM paper.
Wow, thank you so much, Putra, and I do agree with you as well. And next, let's ask Fia. What do you think of today's topic?
My opinion about today's topic is it is something that we always do in our life. For example, when you want to tell your friends a story about someone or you want to like spill the tea, you're going to use some adjectives like arrogant, humble, and so on when you want to describe that person. And today's topic is also very important because because it's also one of the type of question that can be asked in paper 2 part 2.
Right, thank you so much, Fia. And I would like to also hear thoughts from Ahmad.
In my opinion, as the teacher said, that we will be learning about describing a person, means that we are going to learn two things: adjectives and essay writing. So in my opinion, I would like to learn both of that to improve in my English and in my exams.
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your thoughts. But before we proceed with today's class, I would like to check with you. Are you ready for today's class? If you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Very nice. The students are ready. I'm ready. And Mr. Hanin and Mr. Chua are ready as well.
Yep,
So,
sure.
sirs, shall we proceed with today's class?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
So today, our topic is to describe a person, and the materials are all from the Form 4 Full Blast textbook, which is on page 27. So the students watching this, you can refer to page 27 in your Form 4 Full Blast textbook for the writing materials. As we know, a lesson is not complete without learning objectives. So by the end of today's lessons, the students should be able to state at least 2 reasons why they admire a person, and they are able to write a short response in about 125 to 150 words about a person they admire. Okay, so this is the focus of today's lesson, admire. Chris, what do you
Yes.
understand about the word admire?
Yes, we want to know.
Admire. Well, I think it's a very positive word. It's coming from a very positive perspective, and it means to who I look up to, who I admire. Is that correct?
Yes, you are correct.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll let Mr. Chua to continue as well.
Okay.
Maybe we can hear some thoughts from our students on the
Yes.
screen.
Sure.
How about Iza? What do you think about the word admire?
In my opinion, admire is something that you like about people and you want to make them as an example.
Okay, so you want to be like the person you admire. Okay.
As well, which is very good, yes?
Yeah. Very good answer, Iza. Very nice.
Okay. How about we hear from another person? How about Suren? What do you think about the word admire?
In my opinion, the word admire is we idolize someone, we take them as our role model, we'll admire them. Opinion.
Very nice.
Yeah, very good as well.
Idolize.
Idolize. So that is a good word to describe.
Okay.
So basically, the students, they are familiar with the word admire. Usually, we admire a person because he or she has some good qualities that we would like to be like them. So how do they describe the person? That's why they need to use adjective.
Adjective.
That's what you say just now.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have a bit of discussion first. So let us all think of a person we admire and what is he or she like? And why do you admire him or her?
That's a very good question.
Yes.
Maybe I can try.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Why don't you share your opinion?
I admire my father
Okay.
Father.
because he is funny. He likes to make a lot of lame jokes. So that's what I admire about him, and I wish that I would be able to be as funny as him.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So
good.
that is a quality that.
Yes.
Yep.
So your father has a good sense of humor.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why not we hear from the others?
Yes.
Sure.
Will you do the honor?
Sure. Who would like to try next? Maybe you want to share with us who you admire and what you admire about them. Maybe you could raise your hands if you'd like to go. Okay, if you never raise your hand, I will just... Okay, Fia.
Fia is
Very
excited
nice.
to give and share the
Go ahead,
answers.
Fia.
Okay, let's listen from Fia.
Of course, I have someone that I admire the most, and that person would be my mother. Because for me, she is so special to me. She was there when I was at my lowest, and she always teach me that whenever I stress myself too much about studies, sport, or competition, she always advised me for not trying to be perfect, but instead you just need to try your best in your life.
Wow.
Wow.
A very good point from her. That she's admiring her mother. Okay.
She has a very supportive mother.
Fia,
Yes.
based on what you shared with me as well, I admire your mother. Based on what,
Okay.
Okay, so can we listen to
I think we can listen to one more.
one more? Okay.
Sure. Who would like to try next?
Okay, Suren. Suren
Oh,
already
Suren.
raised his hand. Okay, Suren, let's hear from you.
Okay, the person I admire is my father because he'll give the correct advice at the perfect time. That suits the situation.
Suren, the question is, do you listen to your father's advice or not?
Yes, listen.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay.
Father.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, those are good people who we should admire.
Yes, our parents, right? So basically, both of our parents are the one who are closest to us. So that's why no wonder some of the traits that they have is something that we would like to have in ourselves as well.
Correct.
Okay, so let's move on to today's topic. Okay, so this is the question or the topic for today. Your teacher has asked you to write a description of a person you admire. Write why you admire him or her and how he or she has influenced you. So this is the question from the textbook.
The textbook.
Okay.
It's quite similar to the requirement for a part 2 component, which is a guided response. Now, students, can you look at this question and tell me what are the keywords for this question?
Okay.
I think
Maybe
they're taking
who
a
would like
little bit
to
of time.
try
yeah.
to share the keywords from the question? How about Putra?
I think the keyword in this question is write a description of a person you admire.
Okay, that is very good as well.
Okay.
You understand that one of the tasks is to write a description of a person.
Are there any more
Yeah.
keywords?
Okay, thanks Putra for sharing the first keyword, which is description. Fia, how about you? What about the second description? Or second keyword, sorry.
I think the second will be the reason why why we admire him or her, and the way they influence us.
Thank you, Fia. Yes, she got it right,
Yes.
Mr. Chua?
She got it right.
Why you admire him or her. Okay, and how about we have one more keyword, right?
One more
One more
keyword, I think
How
so.
about Ahmad?
I think one more keyword is how he or she has influenced you.
Is that correct, Mr. Chua? Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that's correct. So basically, this is what we call as a guided essay. So the question will give you some guidance
Okay.
or some ideas that you need to respond to. This
Okay.
is why it's called a guided essay. So the
Understood.
students have to include all the keywords here into their response later. Okay, we'll look at an example. Okay, so this is from the textbook.
As well, this is a very good example because the example is always help our students to actually know how they can answer the essay.
Okay.
Can I have a volunteer to read the essay for us?
Yes. Who would like to volunteer? Just raise your hands. Anyone? All right. Let's go, Suren.
Suren is very excited today. Okay, thank you very much, Suren. So let's hear.
Oh, it's too small. The person I admire the most is my Uncle Tony. He is a firefighter and he has performed some extremely heroic acts. My uncle is the most courageous person I know. He risks his life every day to save others. He really loves his job and wouldn't change it for anything. Few people are kind and unselfish as he is. In fact, he always offers to help others even when he isn't working. Another quality that really stands out is his great sense of humor. Whenever we are together, it makes me laugh a lot. As for myself, my Uncle Tony has been a huge influence on me. He has shown me how important it is to help others who are in need. I believe he's the reason why I've decided to become a doctor. I really like my Uncle Tony, and so does everyone in the community. Nobody ever has a bad word to say about him. I hope I can gain that kind of respect from people in the future too.
Okay.
Thank you, Suren, for that amazing reading.
Yes, I hope the kids at home would really appreciate this example.
Okay.
Okay, so we can see that why is it a good example? As this writer has included all the requirements of the question. So in the first paragraph, he talked about the description of Uncle Tony, who is a firefighter. And in the second paragraph, he talked about why he admired him. Basically because he is a most courageous person, kind and unselfish, and his great sense of humor. And lastly, for the third paragraph, he talks about how Uncle Tony influenced the writer. And he also ended with a very short and sweet conclusion. So basically, this is what a guided response should be. The students should have included all the content points into their essays.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so as mentioned before, in our previous lesson as well, we learned about the three components that we need to do in a writing task, which is in writing, right?
Okay.
So we have the three parts. We have done already part one previously. Now we focus on the part two. Actually, is more on open essay on the topic, opinion, discursive, or argumentative. For here, we are talking about giving their opinion about a person. That's why they need to describe about the person. And for part three, maybe we will have another chance to actually talk about this more, okay? Now, just to highlight a little bit to all the students there, part 1 previously is on a A2 level under our CA4R aligned curriculum. Okay, so we need to achieve a certain level when we want to do a part 2 essay, which is focusing on a B1 level, which is a higher degree, a little bit. Okay, so candidate have to write an essay in about 150 words, but you know, sometimes you write more. So it wouldn't harm you to actually write a little bit more, but you need to restrict as well yourself when you're writing, because you know already the amount of words that you need to achieve. So restriction also is a must, because we don't want to waste a lot of our time like explaining, but in the end you're not achieving what the question wants. Just now we realize there are certain tasks that we need to achieve when we are doing this task. Yes,
okay,
Chris?
That's a very good explanation.
Yes. Okay, so
Mr. Hanin, I do have a question. So for today, so earlier you shared about part 1, part 2, and part 3. So for today, we are focusing on part 2. Is that correct?
Part 2, yep.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so if you remember also, this is the skills that we need to follow in order for us to achieve. Yes, we know just now what are the things that we need to accomplish in a writing part 2. But the thing is, this is the skill that we need to fulfill in order for us to get the mark.
Yes, the marks.
So
that is
the
what we
total
want to get.
marks is 20.
Okay.
So there are 4 elements that we need to focus on, which are on content, communicative achievement, organization, and language. And later on, when we are doing our discussions, we are going to look at it furthermore, okay? Okay, so these are the skills. We have the content, we have the communicative achievement, organization, and language. Just now, because our focus is a little bit more on the adjective, right? So I want to emphasize on the language part. Use a range of everyday vocabulary or occasional inappropriate use of less common lexemes. So we want to encourage them. In order for them to get a better mark is to include a lot of vocabulary that is going to help them to make the reader to understand. So when the reader understands, so they can increase the mark for communicative achievement and also get a higher mark in content. Okay.
Understood.
So now I'll pass back to Mr. Chua to focus more on the word that we mentioned about adjective.
Okay.
Okay, so we have previously in the previous lessons, Mr. Hanin had talked about cohesive devices. For example, besides, other than that, all this should be included in your essay to make your essays sound smooth. So aside from that, we will be focusing on adjectives today, as what Mr. Hanin has said. If we use adjective to describe a person, it shows that we are good in our language. And when we are good in our language, we can get a better mark in our communicative achievement because we can hold the reader's attention when they are reading.
Understood, Mr. Chua. So actually, Mr. Hanin, for connectors is part 1. Am I right? That was for better organization as our previous learning. So first of all, besides that, and today we are focusing more on adjectives for getting higher marks, so overall 20 marks. So, but before we actually proceed with more examples and more strategies on getting these marks, how about we take a quick break? Is that okay, sirs?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sure.
Yes, and for those of you watching at home, don't go anywhere because we will be learning right after this how we can score the most marks we can for our English essay. And I will see you again here on Sukses SPM 2021.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021 with me, Chris MJ, and today we are learning Bahasa Inggeris on the topic of describing a person. Now before the break, Mr. Chua and Mr. Hanin has already explained the best ways to get out of 20 marks, the most we want to get in SPM paper 2 in our English essays. And one of the ways we can actually describe a person is by using adjectives. And right now we are, just correct me if I'm wrong, we are actually going to learn more and dive into adjectives. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So, because you want to describe a person, of course you have to use adjectives.
All right.
Okay, so adjectives are words we usually use to describe the quality of a person, animal, or thing.
Okay.
Chris,
Yes.
Can you think of an adjective?
Yes, usually people will call me short. So is short an adjective?
Yes,
Okay.
short is an adjective. Okay, so other than adjectives, we have a few forms.
Okay.
Okay, comparative and superlative. Comparative is when we compare two things or
Okay.
two people. Like for
Alright.
example, short.
Short.
So if it's comparing, shorter than.
Ah. Okay.
For example,
Chris is
Chris-
shorter than
Chris
Mr.
is-
Chua.
Okay, Chris is shorter. Okay, Chris is shorter than Mr. Chua.
Ah, okay.
Okay, and then lastly is superlative. So when we want to use superlative, usually we use it to compare more than two things or people.
Okay.
Okay, so usually we'll use the word the, so it has to be the shortest.
Oh, the shortest.
Mm.
Okay,
Yes.
I understand.
Okay, maybe we can ask one of our students
Sure.
about their opinion.
Sure, who would like to give an example of an adjective? Let's go with Iza. Iza, what about you?
Iza. Yes.
Large,
Large.
Large.
Okay, can you also tell us what are the comparative form and the superlative form?
larger, and largest.
Larger and
Very nice.
largest. Okay, that's good.
So larger than and the largest.
Largest.
Okay.
So usually adjectives are not only short, sometimes they are long. Can anyone think of an adjective which is longer?
Longer. Okay, who would like to try? Yeah, just raise your hands if you'd like to try. Any
Okay, Ahmad.
volunteers?
Ahmad raised
Ahmad.
his hand. Yes, Ahmad.
Long adjectives like beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is a long adjective.
Yes, beautiful is a way
Okay.
to describe someone.
Yes.
Okay.
So when the adjective is usually longer, which means you have more syllables,
Yes.
we don't use anymore. Just now we use shorter.
Okay.
But now when the words, when you have a lot of syllables in your words, we use the word more. More beautiful than.
Ah, okay.
And superlative, the most beautiful. For
Understood.
words with more syllables, we will use the word more and most. And
Okay.
we don't use and est.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like a reminder for them. Actually, they know the word, just that we want to highlight this so that the students out there know the forms of adjective. That's all.
Okay. Understood.
Okay, so back to the question.
Okay.
So write a description of a person you admire. Write why you admire this person and how he or she has influenced you. So this is the focus of today.
Okay.
Okay, as usual, when we want to write an essay, there are three parts that we need to focus on. Let's see whether our students online remember what are the three parts in an essay.
that we need to have in our essay, right?
Yeah, please raise your hands who would like to give us three parts in the.
Fia.
Yeah, Fia. Okay, Fia.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
So what are three parts in an
Okay.
essay?
I think the answer is introduction, body, and conclusion.
Okay, let's
Is
see.
she
whether-
correct?
Okay.
Introduction,
so we
body,
will have
and conclusion.
Conclusion.
Yes, you are right, Fia.
That's good.
Okay,
I mean,
let's-
like, because she remember the previous lesson maybe, that also in part one, they must be also have the three components in essay.
Understand.
Okay, so let's go into each part. So for in the introduction, usually we will give some general information about the person first because
Okay.
our topic is the person we admire. So just give a bit of information. And followed by the body paragraph. Okay, so we will include all the key points. Just now we talk about why we admire that person, and we can talk about how he or she has influenced us in our body paragraph. And lastly, for the conclusion, we can give some general comments about the person we admire. Okay, that's right.
Oh, okay. So if you're watching at home, take out your pen and paper and let's try to write a short paragraph on describing.
Yeah,
or back to the
describing a
question.
person,
Yeah.
the person that you
admire. Okay.
Of course, it will be easier for them because when we talk about the person that we like or we admire, they have a lot of points I think this question is really helpful for students.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so while waiting for
So let's give our
them-
friends
Let's talk
online some time to start writing their short paragraph on who they admire and why they admire this person. And so while we give them some time, maybe we can discuss.
Yes.
Yeah. So just now, Chris, you talk about the person you admire, who is your father.
Yes.
Okay. So can you briefly describe your father?
Okay, so my father is someone who has a great sense of humor, so he's funny. And I'm very inspired by how he makes everyone laugh around him. But what about you, Mr. Chua? Who do you admire?
Usually, the person who I admire the most would be my mother.
Why? Why do you admire her?
Because although my mother is not highly educated,
Okay.
but she sure knows how to be a good mother.
Wow, okay. So
Okay.
she's a good mother to you, Mr. Chua. What about you, Mr. Hanin? Who do you admire?
My late dad.
Okay.
It's been like 3 years already since he passed, but I learned a lot from him. The quality that I love about him is determination. When you really put an effort into the things that you love, then that is something that I really admire about him, because he really focused on that. So that is a very good quality that I think that I'm going to continue.
Wow, determination.
Yes,
that is
determination.
how your late father has influenced you.
Yes.
Is that correct, Mr. Hanin? Well, based on what I heard today, it sounds like everybody admires their parents the most, correct? Like
Yep.
our friends online and also me and the teachers today.
But
Okay.
you know, sometimes, for us human to admire other people also is to your preference, right? So
Yes.
we just like be positive and
Okay.
to the person that we like. Okay.
All right, looks like our friends online are ready as well with their answers, with their writing. So, are you ready? If you're ready, if you're good, give me a thumbs up. And it's time to see if you are able to get 20 marks. Okay, let's find out.
Okay. Let's find out a little bit more. Okay. So they already sent their answers, and then I randomly put their names. So not sure who's going to start first.
Okay,
so
sure.
we let the slides to choose who's the person.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the question. So the first person is Nusrat.
Okay, Nusrat.
Okay.
Putra, you want to read? You want to read your answer?
Alright.
Okay.
The person I admire the most would be Asfahiri. Personally, he is the best influencer I've ever known. Asfa is a young and great entrepreneur. He owns an aromatherapy candles business called Nyala. Despite his popularity, he remains humble towards his family and friends and always takes good care of them. Asfa never stops showing positivity and love on his social media. For instance, he gave his sister an iPhone 12 for her outstanding achievement in SPM. Asfahiri is commonly known for his great sense of humor, and his laugh is contagious. Whenever I feel at the bottom, I know where I should go. Moreover, he has a good taste in fashion, which is very trendy and inspire me to become like him. In a nutshell, I really look up to Asfahiri as a youth influencer, as well as a prominent public figure. I hope that I can improve my self-esteem as much as him and meet him in person somewhere in the future.
Thank you, Putra.
Okay, thank you, Putra, for reading the answers. So, just want to highlight to everybody. Let's see the sample over here by Nusrat. So, what are the three components just now we discussed about? What do we need in an essay?
Introduction, body, and conclusion.
Body, and also conclusion.
Okay.
So just now, what mentioned by Mr. Chua, the task that we need to do is, in the first paragraph, you need to tell a little bit about the person that we like, right? So Nusrat already mentioned, the person I admire the most would be Asfar Harry. Personally, he is the best influencer I've ever known. Okay, that's a very good introduction already. Now, he mentioned further by describing a little bit more about Asfar, and he included a lot on adjective as well. So let's see the adjective that he has. Asfar is young, and he also great, The word humble itself, right?
Humble.
And we go on to the next. Outstanding achievement. So this one is all a plain explanation. And the use of adjective really help to describe about what he did, his effort. So it helps in increasing the mark. The next paragraph, Asfar is commonly known for his great sense of humor, further explaining about the quality that Asfar Harry has. Whenever I feel at the bottom, I know where I should go. Now, telling more to us what the influence that he got from his idol, Asfar Harry. Okay, this is very good as well, and a very good conclusion. In a nutshell, I really look up to Asfar Harry as a youth influencer as well as a prominent public figure. I hope that I can improve my self-esteem as much as him and meet him in person somewhere in the future. Wow. I'm just reading it because the conclusion is short and nice. Yes, it's not really like too lengthy, it's just nice. Congratulations, Nusrat, for doing this job as what we did. So what I usually do, I include the C, the CA, the O, and also the L, right? Okay, so the maximum mark for total?
Total 20.
Total 20, right? So let's see the content. He included a lot of information about the content. So, 5.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, now we talk about communicative achievement. You as a reader, do you feel that Nusrat has told you a lot of information about Asfar Harry?
Yes.
Yes, you agree
5.
on that?
Yes.
5. How about the organization? You see the paragraphing is quite nice, and also he included a lot of connectors as well here to make the writing smooth. So 5 over here, and language is very good.
Yes.
Control as well, 5. So
yay, Putra, you just got 20 marks.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Can we have Iza, please?
All right.
Yes.
Yeah, Iza, you want to read your answer?
The person I admire the most is my mother.
Okay.
This is because she is someone who understands me and knows what is best for me. There is no reason for me to live without my mother. No one can beat my mother when I think of her. She is incomparable.
Yes.
Whenever I am sick, she stays up all night to look after me. She sacrificed her own needs for my requirements, and she'll never ask anything in return. She will never make any grants. Instead, she remains patient with our attitude. She continuously pushes me to excel because she dreams of me being the top student.
Okay.
Whenever I feel like giving up or have a concern, I will always ask her for advice.
Yes.
From her, I have also learned that we have to put others' needs ahead of our own, but never let them take advantage of us. She seems to be strong even during hard times because she is extremely determined to accomplish anything to make us happy. I will make sure my mother get the best treatment when I finish my study and start working. I will try my best to make her as an example in all aspects of my life. I will always appreciate my mother because I know I will never get another.
Wow, thank you, Iza.
Yes.
That is a very beautiful answer, by the way.
Yes, okay. Yes, we need to look at the paragraphing. Yes, it has like a very good introduction. The body is explaining about her mother and also a little bit of conclusion. So we look at our C, A, O, and L, right? So the content just now, I feel like when you're reading, you feel like a lot of content she mentioned about her mother, right?
Yes.
So she included a lot, so we can give 5. Yes, as a reader, you feel like, you feel touched about her stories as well, about her mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you can give 5 as well for this, for communicative achievement. About the organization, I think she can include a little bit more on the cohesive devices, just to make the flows of either more interesting. So she fell a little bit down. If she can include that, she can get higher.
Okay.
So 3 over here.
Okay.
And the language.
She uses quite a lot of adjectives as well.
Yes, she uses a lot of adjectives as well. Okay, she got a 4. Okay. So 5, 5, 10, 13, 4, 3, 4. So total is 17. So
17 over 20. Congrats,
still a
Iza.
high mark. Okay, congratulations, Iza.
Yes, so what we just did earlier was more on, we just saw our friends' answers on the question, which is writing about and describing the person you admire and why you admire the person. So I'm excited to hear and read from my other friends' answers as well. But before that, could we take a short break, sirs?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. And so earlier we saw Putra's answer. He scored a 20 over 20. Amazing job. And Iza as well. Great job, by the way, with your answer. Now, for those of you who want to hear our other friends' answers for today, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Sukses SPM 2021.
Didik TV KPM. Didik TV KPM.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Sukses SPM 2021. You're watching with me, Chris MJ, and I'm here with Mr. Hanin and Mr. Chua. And today, we are learning Bahasa Inggeris on the topic of describing a person, especially for our English essays. Now, before the break, we learned on the main components of an English essay, so introduction, body, and conclusion. And we also had some time to write a short essay regarding who we admire and why we admire them. So we heard answers from Putra, and we also saw Iza's beautiful answer as well. And next, who do we have, sir?
Okay, on the slide we have Ahmad. So we let Ahmad to read his answer.
Okay.
Okay.
The person I admire the most is my friend Daniel. We have been good friends for 3 years, and since then he taught me a lot about how to be a good person to everyone else. We often share our opinions and discuss about the interests that we share, and more often than not, the discussions turn to arguments, but both of us enjoy a great argument, and the greatest debater often wins. On the contrary, we do have contrasting interests and different sets of knowledge. He has more social skills and knows a lot of news and about the community more than I do, while I often know more about academics than he does, and we often exchange that knowledge. Based on the events described, he has been a great influence on me, as our friendship has indirectly taught me on how to be tolerant in a conversation, respect as one of the main elements in a relationship, the necessity of being open-minded in a discussion, and how to be a good listener. And he could be one of the main reasons how I changed from being pessimistic and narrow-minded person to a better person I am now. I really like being friends with him, and so does our community. Everyone feels comfortable around him, and I feel very lucky to have him as a friend. I hope I can be this type of friend to someone too in the future.
Wow, Ahmad, that is such a beautiful answer. Daniel, I hope you're watching this. That is such a great answer. Thank you, Ahmad.
A dedication, a dedication to his friends. Okay, so as we look through, we need to look at the three components. So the introduction is here, and then the body, and also the conclusion is here. So we are going to look at the C, A, O, and L. So
okay. So the first C is content.
So as when we heard, we know that he really loved his friend. So I think he deserves a 5.
Oh, nice.
As well. I think for communicative achievement as a reader as well, as I go through again.
Okay.
Yes, reading this. Oh, wow. Yes, commendable. So he can get also a 5. However, for organization, a little bit of like a very long sentences.
Yeah.
He could actually break the sentences. Yes. Okay. Ahmad, I would suggest that, and also try to include more cohesive devices. Seemingly, I can mention. I can only notice this one. On the contrary, Mr. Chua, do you find any other more? Not really. Where?
While I often.
While. So yes, I would really suggest.
I see one.
Yes.
I think based on the events described, is that an example of cohesive? Is that an based on the events described?
Based on the events
Is that a connector?
Described. it's not really like the real connectors that they need to include.
I see.
They already know the cohesive divisor and connectors that they need to include actually. So maybe they miswriting it a little bit. It's okay. It's always a suggestion for them to improve, right? To put more so that they can get a better mark. So actually a little bit like download a little bit here because failing a little bit, but the content is already high. So that is what good about this. It let you know which part or which area that you need to focus on. And also the language is quite okay. So 10 still 17.
70.
Very good.
Congratulations, Ahmad.
Congratulations. And we are going to go to the last person.
Okay.
Fia.
Fia, do read your answer.
The person that I admire the most in my life is my mother. She is working as clerk at school near my house, and she is the closest one in my family member. My mother is the most supportive person I know. She always be my biggest fan every time I enter a competition and always asks me to reach for the star. Her sense of humor is another quality that really stands out, her likable personality. That's why people around her always having a great time with her, include for myself. As for myself, I would say that my mother has been a huge influence on me. She showed me that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. I believe she's the reason why I decided to become minister. I really like my mother, and so does everyone around her. They always praise my mother, and I never heard people say bad word to her. In future, I hope I can help more people in need and inspire other people too.
Okay, that is also very
thank you, Fia, for your answer.
Answer from Fia. So we see the three main components as usual. The introduction, the body, and also a little bit of the conclusion, right? We are looking at the C, A, O, and L, right? So, Fia, that is very good because you mentioned about your mother. However, I feel that lacking a little bit on the content. She can add more just to increase a little bit more of the information that we want to know about her mother. Just now when we look at other samples, for sure that we can also learn from our friend how he just now, we can take example Ahmad and also Nusrat. The way they mention about the person they admire, they include a little bit more information. So I think you can add more. Okay, thank you, Fia, to improve. And then so for content, so it would highlight also a little bit down mark for a communicative achievement because lack of content. For an organization, I think I also want to encourage the kids to actually use. I can only see in fact. As for myself, not many. Please try to include more. So 3 and also the language, not really like a very big mistake on the error. So 4 for a 12 plus 3 is 15.
All right. So generally, all your students were amazing, giving great marks as well. So out of 20, we can see that. And what I love about what Mr. Hanin and Mr. Chua shared was you gave a lot of feedback on how we can improve. So it looks like we have come to the end of today's class. But before that, maybe Mr. Hanin and Mr. Chua would like to share some conclusion or summary of what we learned today.
So remember the students at home about this 6 items. First, read and understand the task carefully. Just now Mr. Chua in the beginning of the lesson, he mentioned about the task that we need to do. So you need to identify that. And then you need to brainstorm the ideas. Just now we have a discussion about the person that we admire and whatnot. We need to plan your writing. What's good about this textbook, it prepares you on the plans that you need to do. And then give example to support your point. Include connectors. This is a very good things for us to remember, right, Mr. Chua? And also, lastly, chart your writing for errors. And Mr. Chua, anything you want to add?
Usually, the errors that students will make are like tenses, lack of articles, let's say the subject-verb agreement. They should know this, the S, more than S. These are the things. They need to check their essay before they submit it.
Understood. So 6 steps for all my friends at home to score the best marks for your English essay. Thank you so much, Mr. Chua and Mr. Hanin, for these strategies and tips. And how are my friends on Google Meets doing? Like, did you learn something today? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Yes, amazing. I just want to say good job to all of you as well for your amazing essays. And with that, I would like to say we have come to the end of today's class. Thank you so much once again to our teachers and my classmates online.
Chris. Thank you, everybody.
And we will see you again in future episodes here at Sukses SPM 2021. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you.